Another weekend is upon us. Well, ended really, so time to go back to the good old-fashioned drawing board. Episode 13 is upon us. Very interesting topics. Now, I'll just give you a quick disclaimer that some of the topic is pretty intense, and what I mean by intense is that not everyone formulated the same opinion, I guess I would say. So, it's okay. Everyone has, different opinions and stuff, and we touched a little bit on the anti-bullying campaign that, we're going to be eventually pushing soon. So, hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. We had a fun time, and there was a lot of discussion. So, we ended up talking about Almost Human and the Niagara Falls Comic-Con. So, big announcement. We were going to be there, so we hoped to have media passes during that time. If not, oh well, still going. So, anyways, enjoy your chimichanga and enjoy the show.
On this topic. You think we can manage that?
Yeah, because I got, unfortunately, other things that I got to get done today. Well, not unfortunately. I haven't seen these people in over a year, so it'll be nice to reconnect.
Brian?
What?
Rainer?
What?
Baker?
Yo.
You just had to be fucking different.
You had to be different.
I always have to be different. I'm the unique one, I guess. I don't know.
All right.
I'm here. We're recording. We got questions, right?
We have questions, and this is episode 13. Hopefully, it will not be a rehatching of super off topic.
We're up to 13 already.
13, not including game reviews or the vault.
Wow.
That we just opened up, and yes, I'm putting a plug in for the vault.
That's fine.
The vault got opened.
Yep. it's still podcast from us, so that's
I
all you want.
I don't consider it as an episode, though. This will always be our episodes, but this is kind of like a tinkering little toy. But more to come with that. So today, we have some interesting things to talk about. We're very excited about the first half, which Baker's going to lead, and then the second half. I hope that doesn't turn into an hour on its own, because there are just so many what ifs and dreams, and everyone's gonna be happy.
Yeah, but I'm here to keep that under wraps.
Oh yeah, Rainer is back. She has been threatened that we would stab her back in the imaginary gallbladder if she takes a day off.
Yeah, no more days off.
No more days off.
She helps keep us on top of
days off. There's no more Gambit books to read.
Just to give everyone.
I had the flu. I wasn't reading anything.
Yeah,
I was sleeping on the couch, freaking drooling.
I saw her. She was at home reading.
Drooling over Gambit.
Yeah.
Anyways, a couple announcements I just want to quickly throw in there before we start. One, you will see us at the Toronto Comic-Con. Who's going to be there? Who knows? But we will be there, and hopefully we'll have our bells on well. Rainer will be dressed up anyways.
I will be dressed up.
She'll be dressed up, but we're not going to tell you who. Baker is going to try and make his attendance, and he kind of told me ish what he's up to. Brian is a maybe. And the Ginger is a maybe as well, but I will definitely be going as well. But we will be ready for NFCC, and we did apply for our media passes, so we're going to do a plug. Hopefully they're listening to this. So, Baker, take us through what this week's topic is going to be.
Well, they took a quick, very short holiday break, but the show Almost Human with, oh crap, now I can't
Carl
remember.
Urban?
Carl Urban and Michael Earle has been really intriguing for me anyway, especially with some of the topics and morality questions that they bring up as subtext in the show. They don't really focus on it exclusively, which is kind of nice. But it's something that I thought we might talk about, look deeply into, and maybe pique some interest from our viewers into maybe giving the show a look themselves, because it's really, really good, and I hope it stays on the air for a long time, because it really can bring up a lot of topics that I think as a society we should be looking at very closely, considering where things are heading technology-wise.
Well, I mean, Almost Human, and I think me and Baker can speak for the most part. We're pretty much up to date with the show. Rainer hasn't really caught up with it. Brian caught an episode. Ginger Tarn, who's my girlfriend, who's absent unfortunately today, she's pretty much up to date with it as well. And what's really good about this show, I guess I could say, is that this is a show they took a movie budget and turned it into a TV show. And that is a huge gamble, being as which that TV and movie budgets are obviously two separate things.
Millions versus hundreds of thousands.
And I went into the show very skeptical. Like, I mean, when I first brought this up, I was like, what the fuck? Are you really wasting this money? And Carl Urban, has he ever been on a TV show? I don't think so.
Nope. He's
So-
been a movie actor his entire career, so I was really shocked when I saw the first promo for this, and that's really what intrigued me more than anything else.
And I think it's fantastic for him. I think he's at a part of his career right now. He needs to do something different because we know him in Dread, which was a phenomenal movie. If you haven't watched that, watch that.
He was really good in that.
But he's always been that typecasted villain. He's always been the assassin in Bourne, and then he got his own movies, but they didn't reach the levels he did.
But still, he's got to be the best McCoy I think anybody could
Oh, yeah,
have
absolutely.
ever thought of in the new Star Trek.
Absolutely. I think that his acting presence has definitely reached a new height, but I can see him being a main actor in a movie, but I just, for some reason, no one's catching him. No one's really going to him and putting him up as, I won't say as a Brad Pitt, that's a stretch, but you know what I mean. Like, he got good traction with Dredd, but he made a movie called Pathfinder. It was absolutely amazing, and everyone's like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, this is a movie you should be watching. This is the movie that you saw his acting talent, and no one ever seen it.
Was it paid for by Nissan?
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
And actually, that's one thing I do like about this show is the lack of product placement. You don't see a lot of it in this show like you do in so many others now.
No, you really don't. So take us through this journey, because Baker has really been working on this, so I'm very interested what he's going to ask us today.
All right. Well, the show takes place in, the near future, wherever you want to really classify that as, where technology is kind of advanced faster than laws or regulations can keep up. And that's really nothing new to anybody here. We've got cases all the time of cyberbullying and internet regulations not being able to catch up. Actually, in British Columbia, a 17-year-old girl actually was just convicted with distribution and collection of child pornography for her sexts that she had been sending. So, yeah, I'm not kidding. I actually
That's
caught
weird.
that on the news last
It's been
night.
on me for a
So,
few months now.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't really read the news or anything. So.
Well, I don't normally either, but that actually just caught my eye last night when I was waiting for another new show to come out. But do you think that this show accurately represents how far we still have to go to catch up to technology and legislation? I mean, we're looking at situations here where we can't accurately, legislate against cyberbullying. Internet anonymity is giving people power and abilities to do so much now criminally. Do you think we're ever going to catch up, or are we always going to be trailing behind like they are in this show?
I think that the biggest disconnect that I wouldn't say our generation did, because I want to honestly believe that our generation was probably the last one ever that actually learned how to tell a bully to fuck off. But I mean, understanding things have changed, and now people use technology as a mask to hide things and to say really rude comments. We need to pick up the laws in certain scenarios, but at the same time, though, there's also another disconnect with families with their children too. So if you, when it comes down to anti-bullying, I'm all for it, but at the same time, though, we do need better laws. And there was a case in the United States that a person, this is gamer related, believe it or not, wrote on his Facebook. He was having an argument with his friend, and I guess it was over World of Warcraft. Don't quote me on that. He had an argument with him. He posted on his own Facebook that I'm going to wait for you to get off your bus, and I'm going to put a bullet in your head and every little kid that comes off the bus after you as well, and I'll be popping babies left and right. They arrested him, and they put him in jail. The kid was just 19, and he served 6 months. That was the longest 6 months of his life, because he was beaten and raped for 6 months.
Wow.
Now, do I think that was a failure by the justice system? Absolutely not. That's not a failure by the justice system. That is a failure by his parents. Because if I did that shit, I'd be in a coma when I got up the next day. But, I mean, in terms of the laws of the anti-bullying, I think the police should step in a little bit more. But you got to make sure you have that line of what's too much and what's too little. And I think that with all the anti-bullying campaigns that are out there, they're also forgetting that sometimes the parents need to be involved too, but then the police need to be involved too. they need to make a better decision on what it comes down to.
I actually seen something on Facebook the other day that was like for the anti-bullying campaign, and it was, in my opinion, parenting done right. The woman found out her daughter was being a bully.
Oh, yes.
She took a picture holding a sign saying, "I'm not a bully, I'm actually sweet, blah, blah, blah. And as punishment, I'm now selling my new iPad and MacBook Air or something like that, and all money going to an anti-bullying charity."
Yeah.
See, that's
Shaming.
that's smart, and it sounds really stupid, but I mean, it goes with the technology that we invited this behavior.
Yeah.
Because when Facebook rolled out, no one sat down and had a what-if scenario. And I'm not blaming Zuckerberg for this. This is not his fault. But I mean, he didn't actually sit down and
This
go.
goes on
In
before
that.
Facebook to MySpace, before that.
Goes back to the
chat
MRC.
Yep.
I mean, this type of behavior has existed well before that.
ICQ.
But a lot of what I
ICQ.
realized too is, and I'm taking this from personal experience, so I'm not saying it's a full statistic, but I'll say when we were kids, like Todd said, we learned to eventually tell our bullies, "Fuck off, get out of our way," be it with words or
I didn't. I was bullied my entire life, and
floor
I was
signs.
never taught how to stand up for myself.
But
so.
I mean,
I wasn't taught. I just did it because
See,
once
I
I hit
didn't.
high school, I realized I was bigger than everyone.
Yeah.
See,
At some point, yeah, you were fortunate enough to
Yeah.
be larger than somebody else. Me, I didn't actually start growing until about grade 11.
But
And
a
at
2x4 is a great equalizer.
And at that, well,
you know, I get
but
people to
at
stay
that
away from
point,
you.
at that point, I actually ended up dropping out of school and I joined the Army because I just couldn't deal with it anymore. I'm like, I'm going to get my own gang. And that was pretty much it. And I started to grow. I got stronger. I got healthier.
I'm sure your self-esteem went up and self-confidence.
Yes and no.
But I mean,
Hey, but-
everyone has their different vices. Like,
Yeah, but to cycle back to the point I was trying to make,
sorry.
what I find is more of the bullied kids now are the ones online bullying others.
That's
where
right.
the bullies are probably the ones out playing football or into the extracurricular activities.
I think that companies, and this is where I'm going to kind of circle back to my point of what was I doing in high school? How do people leave me alone? Wore a fucking trench coat. They were fucking terrified. Oh my god, it's a trench coat
Or you
mafia.
hit
That's
some-
exactly where I was going. I saw Michael Wincott wear a trench coat in fucking The Crow and in Alien Resurrection. Like, that is a badass look. I gotta have that trench coat. That's really what it was.
Yeah,
So
but then
you-
you ended up having the unfortunate accident of hitting some asshole with a wet floor sign, and then you were stuck with him for 15 years.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that right now. No, but I mean, I think there should be a better policing of it in one hand. I think that...
There needs to be charges laid. Harassment charges, assault charges. When someone kills themselves over bullying, those kids who did the bullying need to have a charge put against
But
them.
Here's
Even
where
that-
I do
even
have
that's
to
a
go
stretch,
against you,
though.
Rainer.
I
I'm
can't.
not putting a guy or girl who commits suicide up on a cross because they were bullied. There is other options available than
And
suicide.
I'm not saying there isn't, but you know what? When I was 13, there wasn't a day that I went without wanting to kill myself. 12, 11. You count down from when I was 8 years old. 8 years old. What 8-year-old thinks of suicide? 8-year-olds, exactly. 8-year-olds that are bullied
Here-
continuously.
And here's my point. You thought about it. Where are you?
Yes, I'm still here, but at the time you think it's not going to get better.
Right.
You know what? It does get better, and this has got to be, we got to cut this short because this topic is going to go on forever. This is
Yeah,
going to be
and-
another
Yeah.
topic going on.
I don't know
But I
why
think
or
the
how
point-
Rainer was bullied, but at least she grew up to a beautiful Christian Stewart lookalike.
Good stunt double.
Anyway,
But I think the point is that should the policing catch up? The answer is yes.
do you
Rainer, put that knife down!
do you think legislation is going to catch up? Is really the
I think
question.
it's something bad has to happen, and I'm going to stress this point.
It
It
has.
has. No. Let me finish. Beyond the actual suicide point, because I don't even want to go back to that. But the point is something that needs to happen to the actual government. Something
Yes.
bad. Then they're going to go, my God, people have been killing themselves?
Yeah.
And then they're going to go, okay, we need to pick this up. Facebook. If this person's marked for doing it, you fucking close their account. If they open again, then we charge them.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to get really stupid. But then guess who suffers? The people like us who are like, we don't bully.
How
But then we have
often-
all these restrictions down that we're going to end up following.
How often do you think it's parents paying attention to their kids? Like my 14-year-old nephew now has his own laptop.
Mhm.
That's not going to be under control because God forbid, like his mother is not in his life, so my parents are also taking care of him, and they've already taken care of me and the other one that I don't speak about.
The other one.
But they're
That's funny.
tired. They should be retired, and now they have to deal with a 14-year-old. And the other night, I was going to bed. It was about 10:30, and he was still at his iPod. He gets up at 6 in the morning, and he misses his bus every time. So he's got an iPod, he's got his own cell phone, and now he's got a laptop. Parents are scared of their kids now.
These
They're
people are
scared to
stupid.
say no. And you know what happened to me when I was a kid? And I'm sure it happened to you? Your parents scared the shit out of you.
Yeah,
My dad had a
I
gun
only had one
cabinet.
thing to play with as a kid, and it was called outside.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
went outside, and you know what? On rainy days,
And you know what?
we
I'd
used to play
hate
the
to see
Nintendo.
what would happen to the parent nowadays who says, "Go play in traffic."
Oh, yeah.
No, but to circle back to the podcast.
There's a
And I think
podcast.
well, we're recording something.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad when I'm the one pulling this back.
Yeah. I think
No,
because
but
you get
I
me on
guess-
the topic that I'm passionate about, and, I'm not the
Good,
moral
then
fiber
me and you
anymore.
will sit down and we will have a conversation recorded for a different day. So,
All right.
because we still have to do that. Anti-bullying. Anyways, back to Baker's point. I think the legislation will not catch up until something happens and affects the government.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what-
always what happens.
That's what happens. Like, I mean, there's. What do you mean
You know what will
marijuana?
happen?
What do you
when-
mean drugs is an epidemic? Oh my God, we got freaking people in Congress doing drugs.
Depending if you're
Cancel
talking
it.
Canadian or American, one of the senators or heads of state, whatever, when one of their kids kills themselves because of anti-bullying,
Yeah.
then you're going to start seeing legislation fly.
Yeah, then that's the only way that it's going to happen.
But then it makes you, and I'm going to do a follow-up question, then it makes you wonder who's going to step in. Is it going to end up being like the FCC and goes over the map?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
because I don't want black bars all over my internet.
All right, Baker, go to your next question.
All right.
We beat this one for like 15 minutes.
Wow, that is
So much for
impressive.
the 20-minute to 30-minute discussion.
Yeah, no, exactly.
No, you know what?
But you know what?
It's a good question.
It's a good
Yeah.
question, and it is something that we can see as laws haven't been able to catch up so far, and doesn't,
well, you know what?
I don't think anybody here really has the confidence that it is going to catch up anytime soon.
You know what the phrase is, and I'll stand by that, is never say never.
No, that's true. That's true. Now
Okay,
this
Justin.
is a procedural crime show. Where it's crime A happens, and cop A and cop B go out, do their investigation, and by the end they've solved the crime, or by the end of the next episode if it's a cliffhanger. But there are a lot of subtext in it, most of which relate to our relationships with machines. Things like equality and civil rights, and how we connect, not just to each other, but how we connect to each other through machines. Do you think this subtext kind of helps the plot along, or do you think it's getting in the way?
Well, I mean, realistically, you have Carl Urban's character who looked at his partner, his
Air
cyber-
quotes.
air quotes, and originally he looked at him as a toaster. It's kind of like, he had that technological look at, you're just a toaster.
Well,
Who
and
cares? And now he's turning into like, okay, you're actually more than that, because you have feelings, you have...
Not only can you toast my bread, you can make the sandwich too.
That's right! That's absolutely right. And I've lost my train of thought because of you, and I fucking hate you, because I actually had
Alright,
a good
well-
validated point.
all right. Well, let's look at the differences first. Let's look at the relationship. He loses his leg in the first episode, and it's
That's right.
replaced with a mechanical one.
And he hates that.
And he hates that. He hates that aspect of himself. Now, he still has that ability to walk. I know hundreds of soldiers, well, I don't know them personally, but there are hundreds of soldiers that are amputees out there that I'm sure would kill for that ability. To be able to walk again with a full limb. Why do you think he would resent it that much?
Well,
Technology.
technology is going to be the end of this world.
Yeah, like you see, there's a reason why. Okay, I have my iPhone. I don't sit on it all the time, and I won't ever get an iPad. I won't ever get a tablet. Any
I'm
BlackBerry
getting a
tablets. I
tablet.
won't ever get the newest thing. I won't ever do it because I can only do so much.
What if
Like
robot
I wasn't
won?
out there anyway. I wasn't out there at the line getting a new PS4 because I'm not a slave to that. I can't do it. I just can't do it just because it's the next big thing. I can't do it.
Now,
Well, no.
And I
but
would-
my standpoint
I don't think
on-
I would resent, if in being in that situation where you have to, your arm is or something is replaced by some kind of that's helping. That's helping. It's like you can walk again thanks to technology. Yay! But Here's an iPad. Ignore everyone. Here's a tablet. Ignore everyone. Here's a new PS4. Stand in line and spend your parents' money and ignore everyone.
See,
Okay.
Like,
I stand.
I
I guess
resent
you say below Rainer on this one, where
That's weird.
yeah, I do like the PS4s. I love consumer grade technology. It's the technology that are taking over the factories and the workplaces,
Yes.
lessening the jobs that drive me insane.
I think that this is just a failure of the human spirit, is that we looked at something that was a luxury and now it has turned into a necessity. And I
Exactly.
personally believe that it'll be the end of us.
You-
Like Terminator, and I'm going to go to Terminator, because believe it or not, I actually believe in that it's going to be a Skynet kind of world eventually.
yeah, and
It sounds really stupid,
It's
but I mean,
because
we rely too much on things.
it's
Okay.
this is what I read in World War Z was it's the fear of not having it. The advertisements make you think or make you feel like you need a new PS4, you need an Xbox One, you
think
need
it's
a new
gonna happen
tablet,
if
you need the new MacBook. I've had my MacBook for 4 years, and I have no reason to replace it with all the upgrades that they've had, with all the new ones that come out, and that's why I kind of resent technology. I kind of understand his state of mind, like things would be better if you didn't feel like you needed it.
yeah,
I
you
But
think
see,
that's
when
what
it
it comes
comes
down
to
to, is that's why Carl Urban looks at it that way, because his character's like, technology is what got me here. Technology has got me with a fucking stump. It's because of technology. And that's how his character, in my opinion, interprets it. So I can't even speak now. Lose my fucking voice. But ultimately, I think when it comes down to is that we look at the PlayStation 4s, the MacBooks, the tablets, and everything. Do you need a tablet to survive?
No.
But you want to have a tablet because
No.
one, it's an image thing. It's also, you make yourself believe it's a necessity. Like, I need to have this tablet, or I need to have this laptop or this PlayStation 4 because it will provide me entertainment in some shape or form. And I need to have it. But if the world ended tomorrow and the zombie apocalypse, segue, happened, you know how much suicide would be?
Oh yeah.
Tons.
Tons. Because we rely
Sure.
on
And that's why I think that it's healthy to kind of pry yourself away. That's why I go back and I read books.
But-
I read my comic books. I mean, I pry myself away from my PlayStation because sometimes I can't be bothered with it. I mean,
But in the show, Carl Urban learns the other side of that spectrum. He learns that technology can be good.
it is, and like in the point where his leg, he can walk again because his leg is, he's got a cyborg leg.
Right.
That's good. When it actually benefits you medically, it helps your body. Like, eventually we can probably, hopefully, maybe they're going to write something where you can cure cancer, where you have, I don't know, different ways of getting rid of it rather than chemotherapy, radiation, something. Did they already do it? Did they already do it in the show? Because I don't watch it. Did they
No.
cure cancer?
No,
No,
I don't think the.
But I'm
you know
just
what?
saying,
No,
like something like that, like
No,
that
there's
kind of
sex
stuff.
bots.
they're sex bots.
Oh, good.
Gotta love sex. Fembots! Thank you, Austin Powers!
Yeah, but I mean something like that where it actually helps people continue a normal life, whereas
Right.
again, a PlayStation.
There was an episode where
Tablets.
technology kept people alive with organ it was like people they were stealing people's organs.
the
and then-
heart, and that's what
yeah,
I
that was a very good episode, and I would implore you to watch that one where
Alright.
they were using technology to track people's organs and shit. And it was a scheme. It was a fucking pyramid scheme where they'd be like, here, buy this heart, here you go. You don't know, in 30 days I'm going to kill you. And then I'm going to
Unless
take your
you pay
fucking
me
heart
more
back.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And technology was able to say, well, I can move this heart. Like, awesome.
See,
You know
and
what I mean?
it's something like that that's good, and that's why again.
But
like,
unfortunately, I think that the weight of the scale tips more to evil than does good. When it comes down to
unfortunately,
that.
because more people, again, like you just said, more people care about an image. Like I know so many people who have to get the latest device, and to me, it's like, why? Like, okay, I have other things that I want to spend my money on. I don't have to be like, oh well, my MacBook that's from 2009 that is working perfectly fine. Oh my god, they have a new MacBook out. Oh my god, I need it. Oh my god.
I've dealt with
Oh
those
my
you
god,
don't.
man! Someone get a fucking horse tranquilizer for this one.
Yeah.
But that's how people
Throw the rage
act.
down. Throw the rage down, Rainer. Throw the
Okay.
rage down.
Well, you know what? And that
You said I can't have
I'm
a day
bringing a
off.
fucking bottle of Valium next week.
It's like,
Well, next
throw it
week
down
we
in there.
probably won't have quite so many touchy questions. But I mean, what
I have to admit though, these have been very, very,
Good question.
very good questions.
And how
That
how
caused
we
her
left-
to rage twice now.
I was saying that kind of leads us
Coming up
right
for number
into
3.
that kind of leads us right into the next question, which is, having watched this show, does it change how you view your relationship with technology?
With me, no.
No.
I think
No, it just makes me want my own robots.
I think what it boils down to is that this is how I look at life. If the world ends, an EMP wipes out all electronics, you will survive, you will survive, you will survive. I will survive. But there's a fuck of a lot of people who won't. Because they rely way too much on it. I think what the show proves to, in another hand, though, is that technology is not really all that bad. But it shows in the show that how dependent people become on it. Carl Urban's character is one of us. In terms of, he could look at it as, you're dead? Oh shit, I have to actually drive my car today. That's fine, I don't mind. I enjoy driving. But my opinion doesn't change the technology.
Wall-E. That's what people are going to turn into.
Little robots with
I
big
cried.
eyes.
No,
Dude,
no.
that
Did
movie
you not
was-
see the
You ever seen
when he
Wall-E?
meets the humans?
I've never seen Wall-E.
Oh, they
What?
get to where the humans are, and all it is like
That would actually be a good reference for this podcast.
yeah,
only
because all it is like people just laying there, and it's
morbidly
they have like
obese.
they can't stand up because of how morbidly obese they are. Like their bones are like melted into them pretty much. They're
Yeah, they pretty
blocked.
much just don't give a shit about
And-
life anymore.
Yeah, and everything is done for them. Like they order things from their tablets that are over their heads, and the little robots come and deliver everything to them. Like they don't even dress themselves. Like that's what's
That's
gonna
what
happen. That's why I don't want that kind of
Utopia,
crap.
it exists.
Yeah.
But they know what the best part about that is? That's fucking 100 years away, so we're okay for a while.
Well,
we still do manual labor.
I'll be honest. It's slightly
For now.
changed my view on how I relate to my technology a little bit more. I mean, I am.
You have your laptop, an iPad, and an iPhone.
I'll be honest.
He's not gonna survive.
I am very technology dependent, but I do take long breaks from it. Just to make sure that I still know what it's like to relate to people.
By
with
long,
them.
he means by the time it takes him to go to the bathroom and back.
Hey man, some people even have a hard time doing that, so do not.
Yeah, people take their phones with them, and you know what?
Phones down, buddy.
I was talking about you bringing yours to the can.
I haven't.
It's
touched
not
my
relevant
phone.
that I take my laptop to the bathroom when I'm playing World of Warcraft. We
All right,
both know
all right.
that raids happen.
Can I finish what I was saying here? I am
No.
very
Oh no.
I am very technology dependent, but I do take breaks from it to make sure that I still know how to interact with people, and that's one of the reasons why I love doing the podcast with the four of you, because I get to interact with people again. But at the same time, what are you looking at?
Look at your.
But at the same time, I also have a respect for my machines. I talk. It's sad. I talk to my machines. Like when I have Siri set up appointments, I thank her when I'm done. Why? I don't know. Just because it's polite. I think
that
polite,
has nothing to do with technology. I think that's just a Canadian thing.
Yeah.
I don't
We
know if
apologize
it's a-
everything.
I don't know if it's a Canadian thing or not, but at the same time, if I had a personal assistant doing everything for me, I would be thanking them as well. Why?
I'd be
It's just
beating them.
politeness. Whether it's a computer, a low-end computer artificial intelligence, or if it's a human being that's helping me out with things, I think I don't know. I think I tend to treat them just about the same.
I think that having that kind of attitude toward a plant, which they've shown that is better for you. I think in a zombie apocalypse, I'd be nicer to the tomatoes I'm trying to grow over my iPhone. You're so pretty, thanks iPhone. No, it's hi, nice tomato plant. I hope you grow some tomatoes today because I'm fucking hungry.
That reminds me of that stupid scene. Yeah, I know we purged it from our mind. We're going to bring it back. When we went and seen The Happening, when Mark Wahlberg was talking to the plastic
Rainer, can I
plant.
get that knife?
That was
It's
a
like,
horrible movie.
I don't know, and it's great because it's like an emotional scene. He's looking at this plant. He thinks it's alive, but it's a plastic plant. It's like, I don't know what we've done wrong to you, but I'm sorry. And he's petting the plant. No,
And then Shyamalan just stopped.
you know what? I'm a cold bastard. I don't need to have a conversation with the plant. Its job is to bring me a tomato, and it's going to do that, or it's going to die horribly.
I don't know. It's well, yeah.
Okay,
If you don't
you
give
got
it
two
positive
choices. You grow me a
encouragement,
fucking tomato, or I'm putting Miracle Grow in you, and you're fucking growing it.
I'm going to
Yeah.
burn you, bitch.
All right. So I'm the only one who really has changed the view on technology interaction. But at the same time, if you were to have, say, like a robot servant,
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
I
It's
would.
a trust factor.
Yeah.
I would, just
And it's
flat out.
maybe
I
it's
like to
because
do
of
things on my
society
own.
and movies.
No, I get that you want to do things on your own, but put yourself in a hypothetical where you've got some kind of whether it's do you have a Roomba?
No.
No,
The fuck is a
no.
Roomba?
it's
A
the
robotic
robot.
vacuum.
It's a little circular thing, the little demonic
And
vacuum
this is,
cleaner.
again, people getting lazier and lazier
Thank you,
and
Bill Gates.
lazier.
Yeah.
No,
All right.
No, I am not lazy enough. Like, there isn't enough time. I don't get a lot of sleep. Brian
he
is
will. He
openly
will.
admitted
Brian is one of those people that will walk past technology and go,
The only reason
this
I
will
haven't
scratch
got
my balls for me, but
Yeah.
The
See,
only
I
reason
can't-
I don't own a Roomba is because I'm a klutz and I don't want to break a $300 vacuum by stepping on it.
Oh my god,
you know how many times
$300?
he's-
I'd rather get a $50
you know how many
vacuum and do
laptops
it
he's gone
myself.
through? He put his fist through one of them, and another time he was playing Guitar Hero. He was jumping around and he jumped on his screen. Why the laptop was on the floor is beneath me, or beneath his foot. But, but the
I
point
had
is,
one that walked downstairs by
No,
itself,
no, but
All right.
and I never apologized to him.
All right. Well, let's move on as we're continuing to fall further and further off topic. The
Which is
relationship
sad.
between the two characters is a pretty typical buddy cop relationship. You know, there's that love-hate relationship. There's the I don't trust you kind of relationship that we've seen in buddy cop shows and buddy cop films, from Starsky and Hutch to Lethal Weapon. But since one of them is technically not alive, does that change the dynamic somehow?
not necessarily. I think that if his character, I don't remember his name.
Darian?
Thank you.
Dorian.
Sorry. Thank you, sir. Was like the other bots, there would be an issue because the other bots are just.
Well, they're completely math and
And
logic
his
based.
character emits emotion, shows it, he pushes for it, he wants to be his own person, have his own identity. Obviously, eventually, Carl Urban at the beginning, ranging for him from originally being just a toaster to now looking at him, no, seriously, and now looking at him as a human being, yes, you see that buddy cop. Will ever reach the heights of Tango and Cash? Probably not. But I think that it really illustrates that someone actually can look at technology as a friend. And I enjoyed that aspect of the show. But I will stand by my point is that I do not trust androids because what was the first movie with an android? It was Aliens. What happened? He brought the facehugger home. And
Boom.
Yeah, can't be trusted. And they spit milk. It's true.
Spit milk.
It's true. Like, come on, when they're sitting there like, okay, we're ripping you in half, Lance Henriksen, what do you want to spit? I only have this glass of milk. Let's go with this.
Well,
And
yeah,
this
but when he
works?
cut himself, was it not?
Yeah, it was the
White,
synthetic
right?
blood, I guess I would say. I think the show really illustrates that type of longingness can happen with a human and a robot. But, I
What are you
mean,
talking about? It's happened now. There was something I seen online, must have been about a year ago now, but it's so disturbing, it stuck with me.
oh no.
In China, a guy married his virtual girlfriend.
I saw that.
I did hear about that. But
Yeah.
that's the problem is, and it's going to go back, and then no one's going to believe me, but it's true. Everything goes back to sex. When they made the
Yeah.
first robot, they make the first robot to go, well, I want a friend.
No, the worst part is, all I can picture is one episode of The Big
But
Bang
someone did
Theory
make
where
them.
Holowitz
No.
made the robotic
But
hand.
the
Yeah.
point is that I'm making is that when they first made the first AI android, it was a female chick with
A female chick.
female bot. Sorry, I meant
So it was
As
a
opposed to
female
a-
chicken.
I don't know. It
Guy
could have
man?
detachable penis. I don't know. I didn't ask. The point I'm trying to make is that, of course, they made him voluptuous. The tits were huge. Had a perfect ass. Why? Why couldn't you just make Bender? When they finally
It's my
sat down and
shiny
said,
little ass.
"Today I am making a robot," they picked an Asian, perfect body droid, female, no junk. That's the point I'm making. It's because sex sells and will always
does.
sell. And the guy was sitting there going, "Well, no girl's gonna touch me, so I'll make a bot."
Well, and what was
Probably.
and what was the second episode of
It was about
All
sex
Machine?
bots.
It was about
There were sex bots in Firefly.
Yeah,
There were sex bots in Austin
Buffy.
Powers.
There were
It
sex
sounds
bots in
really
Buffy.
stupid, but it's true. That's what it comes down to. It always comes
People
down to
are
sex.
horribly lonely and don't want to venture
What
out of their
if-
comfort zone, and they just make a robot instead.
When he looked at the robot, I'm like, you better try that on a hot
They're
dog
bored with their
first.
right hand.
They wanted to make sure their hand doesn't get chapped, so they made a robot.
And I'm not ambidextrous, so I might as well make a robot.
Ooh, baby, you're gonna make me lube.
What? This is not a speak-and spell. But seriously, though.
If it was.
Technology has gotten so perverted that you can buy attachments for your PlayStation. Yeah. Guess who made it? Japanese. Who made an android? Japanese.
Yeah. They have
Correlation.
They have excellent. They have
Great
robotic
taste.
skills.
Great taste. More skills.
All right, so we've been presented with a large number of morality questions in this show.
Yes.
Large number of them.
Yes, I will agree.
Perhaps the biggest question that I've noticed, like it's been an underlying theme in just about every episode, and it's, does this unit have a soul? Does Dorian have a soul? If he does, all right, if anybody can agree with that and thinks he does, what kind of implications does that have for him? Should he earn a salary? Does he have rights? Should he have choice as to whether or not to put his life in danger? At what point do we start thinking or saying that artificial intelligence becomes alive?
Okay, well, flat out, he doesn't have a soul, in my opinion. And it's just, let's look at technology today to apply it to that futuristic technology.
Mhm.
You can completely erase and eradicate that android with a fridge magnet.
Well, I'm sure they're a little
I'm
better
sure.
shielded than that.
No,
but
I'm
I get
saying
your-
that.
But
Okay, can it
I
get-
get your point.
It can't go through an X-ray machine at the airport.
He's
Yeah.
smuggling
So,
something. It
Yeah.
looks like a penis. No, but no, I it's tough because the way how the character is played in this show, he can emit a soul, but then you look back and it's kind of like saying, "Do dogs have souls?" I don't think so. Mine doesn't. He pees
Well,
everywhere.
Look at
And then you have Data from Star Trek. Did Data have a soul at the end? Because he was very robotic at the beginning, but over the evolution of Star Trek, he gained emotion. And he was built to always learn. But do you think he had a soul at the end of it? And I think
You can,
Dorian is kind of like where Data could have been. If that universe existed, because Data's character did die, and they made a new Data, but
Anyway.
that's not relevant. But the point is, if Data's character continued to evolve, he would have reached where Dorian's at right now. Dorian understands the world around him. He understands he has value as a robot. In
But
his
that
mind, it's
doesn't-
a person, but as a robot. But I'm on the fence. I don't know if he has a soul.
See, the thing is that you could say, "Oh, it's a robot. He doesn't have a soul." It's just like how vampires, or the age-old question: does a vampire still have a soul after they reach immortality? Because they technically died. However, you can argue that he doesn't have a soul because he's an android, he's a robot, whatever. How many humans don't emit emotions? Sociopaths, the barbarian over there, like. They say that the soul is what
Oh, you have a
causes you to
soul.
have emotions and what causes you to see. He's sad now, so he
He's
does
sad.
have a soul.
Yeah, he does.
no,
have a
it's
soul.
just, I'm thinking of how many souls I have written on paper.
How
But-
many that was sold to you? Because there was a point at one point in our life we were able to buy souls on eBay.
Yeah, and
No.
Bart Simpson sold his soul
Yeah.
for $5.
Yeah.
But
then you
like,
can put condensation on a window.
yeah. So the soul is what gives people like their emotions and everything. And this
That's a
android
brain.
has.
Yeah, it's a good question. That is a very good question. And the reason why I find it difficult to answer is only because of how his character in the TV show was written. He's not a robot in any shape or form. Like, he's not presented as a robot in any shape or form.
And I think that's why it gives the debate that does he have a soul? Well, if he looked like Terminator with that but displayed emotions,
no, that's
would
called
you have a
that's
soul?
called no acting ability.
No,
Yeah, that's
I think it's
Yeah, but
I
my
think it's a
whole thing
legitimate
with this
question.
too, not trying to get too off topic or start a whole other rant in and of itself.
Thank you.
But just me being atheist, I don't believe anyone has a soul. It's an abstract idea.
Okay.
And that's a good point.
There you go. And you know what? That does actually bring up another good point, because if we get to the point of technology where we create an artificial intelligence that can simulate emotion, can do everything that a human can do and more, because being an artificial intelligence, you would assume that it would have the ability to compute and learn and continue to grow.
The thing is
Do we get to that point where we can no longer consider them property because they have the ability to think and learn for themselves? Is sentience, right? This is self-awareness, all that it takes to have, for lack of a better term, a soul.
if the thing is you think soul, and again, not like putting atheism aside, you
Yeah.
go back to any kind of religion, your soul is from the divine. What I don't understand how someone who's created a robot could give them a soul.
Well,
This is why I don't think he
No,
has a
you
soul,
become
because to me,
self-aware and sentient, that's fine, but in the end,
you don't
being
have a soul.
self-aware and sentient, you're still aware you were created.
Yeah, you
You don't
did not
deserve a
come from a
paycheck.
divine you did not come from a divine creation, universe, God, whatever you want to believe in, wherever you want to believe that the origin of the soul comes from. Again, it happens when you were from, again, a divine creation when you were born. I
But-
don't think this guy has a soul because he was not born from a divine creation. He was not born from a human life.
However,
But if
on the
we're
divine
divine
creation, and
creations,
just because I don't feel I've hit my quota for one-liners yet, if he is
God.
going to pray, would he pray to Bill Gates?
probably not. I don't
Probably
think he has a
not.
Microsoft.
But here's
They're
the
Office.
thing,
ones who
though.
created it.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. If are we not divine creations? So therefore, things that we create, would they not be also by
No,
proxy
we're not
divine
gods.
creation?
well, that's kind of like trying to
We
say
are
I
not
took a
God.
shit today. Now I can play God because I made that.
Yeah, you
No,
are you
all
gonna
right,
give your
but
poop
we
a
just-
soul?
But we
And then are you gonna flush it down now that you've given it a soul?
Clearly, wasn't the one I was looking for.
Like,
all right then. So if we ever develop if we ever develop an intelligence that gains sentience, right, gains self-awareness, the ability to learn and grow, would it still be property then?
Yes.
Well,
Why?
You developed it. Like, let's say...
All right, I developed it. That's
we,
fine.
as a group, built a completely sentient and total robot. He is our property. Especially going back to one of our earlier questions about... what's that word? Legislation and laws?
yes.
He is our property. They don't have a law saying it's not.
True.
Just like, on side veering a bit, but a clone. If I had a clone, it's my property. It's not me. It's not a human that was born. You can go work my fucking job. I'm going to sit home and play video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I see, and that's when we start falling into that really gray category. You know, whether it's clones or whether it's a self-aware machine. I don't think they should be, because once you have self-awareness, you know, whether you want to call it a soul or whatever, at that point, you can make the thing that is self-aware can make decisions for itself.
And that's going to be the downfall of mankind.
Exactly.
It can think for itself. Should it be in a situation where it can put itself at risk for whatever. I don't know. I think it should have that choice. I don't think once it's self-aware, I don't think it is property anymore, because as soon as something is self-aware,
you think that it's
Okay,
really
guys,
gonna
before we
happen
start
though?
it, we're not letting Baker in on our Android project.
no, because as soon as something is self-aware, if you call it property, to me that sounds more like slavery.
This is what's happening in the work world now. We are humans and we are self-aware, and we are still treated like crap. What makes you think a robot's going to be any different just because it has feelings?
I'm not saying it's any
No, the only
different. I'm just
difference is
saying
it knows it's created for that role.
I
Yeah,
guess
that's why I don't think it has a
the
soul. That's
point-
why I don't think it deserves it, because we don't get
Well,
that
that's
kind of
just-
treatment
that's just it,
as
though.
humans.
Well,
that's just it, though.
So why should
This-
a robot?
This particular robot in the show was originally created for the purpose of policing, but then was decommissioned and recommissioned for other non-essential tasks that did not require its emotions. So it's still self-aware, and it's being put into a different role
And I'm not saying I
because
don't fully disagree.
it's the property of, in this case, the city. But if you're self-aware and you maintain it as property, is that not just its own form of slavery?
You know
We're
what?
slaves.
I'm not saying
Everyone's a slave to themselves. We're slaves to
Exactly.
our clothes. We're slaves to our life. But
We're
I guess
slaves to the almighty dollar.
thank you.
Exactly.
But the point is, which I will follow up, is that I'm not saying what Andrew is saying is incorrect, because it's in one hand it's not. I see both sides of the argument. I guess the point is, and hopefully someone who has a brain is listening to this, and may have the ability to make the decision: should I make a robot self-aware or not? The answer is no, do not. That will kill us all.
Yes.
And it really,
It will.
if you look at it, and I know it's just the movies. We can say it's just the movies, but think about it. When people have the ability to make decisions for themselves that cannot or should not make that decision, that's when shit goes wrong.
Yep.
So robots eventually will look at it, to his point, and say, "Well, I'm someone's property. No. This
Anarchy.
is slavery. This is slavery. I am someone else's property. Yeah, still what you fucking made me. I am myself now. I can do whatever I want." And
then
guess
here's
what?
120 volts to fry your circuits.
Yeah.
And then guess what happens? The robot will turn on its human companion.
will it though?
how do you know it won't?
It depends.
It
what the
becomes
logic
self-aware.
behind
I
it.
think
What makes you think it wouldn't? If it has a soul, it
Depends
has
on
the
the what
ability
if
to make
what if
decisions.
you know what? No offense,
exactly.
but
It
you know
does
what?
have
If
the
this
ability to
secretary
make
they
those
turn on.
decisions, but just like you and I, it would make those decisions. I would think based on its experiences with humanity.
Maybe, maybe not.
No.
Like, I mean, it depends. What if that robot, and it sounds really stupid, but it's kind of like the schoolyard scenario. It's kind of like the kid's like, well, how come that kid could talk to his parents like that, but I can't?
Yeah, and then the
But
kid's
then that
gonna go
kid
home
does
and
it
do
too, and then that parent's like, what are you doing? Smack.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, guess what? That kid moves out, lives on the streets now. And it's because monkey see, monkey do, and the robot's going to say, well, how come that robot's treated so good, and yet I'm the one that's on my hands and knees every single day. Fuck this noise, I'm going to revolt, I'm going to kill him, and then suddenly it spreads like a wildfire. And then guess what? Terminator. It sounds really bad, but really think about it. That's what really happened to Skynet. Skynet's like, no, you're going to turn me off? No, I'm going to start a war.
But that's why you don't give them an internet uplink.
No, but I mean, you can't stop evolution. Evolution happens. Whether if you want to believe in the Bible, whether you want to believe whatever religion you want, that's fine. It's up to you. But it comes down to it. Evolution is king.
Yeah.
And-
It always will be, and that's the thing with
In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
and I believe everyone is equally good as they are evil. Whether you want to believe it, it's like, oh, I see good in everyone. Good for you. But there's also another side to the story. There is always half and
I'm
half.
way
Except
more evil
Brian,
than I am good.
Brian
That's the
is
thing,
way
though.
more evil. We know that.
But the point
if-
I'm trying to make is that if you know something that could be easily enabled, why put them in the position? It's like putting an alcoholic in a room full of booze. You're putting them in that position that they're going to want to drink it.
And you
so
can- you
why
can
put
say-
them there?
You can say, oh, he's been clean
I
for
can say
this
from
long.
personal experience because it's fun.
Yeah,
But it has nothing to do with an alcoholic. It has to do with coming over to your best friend's house going,
But
hey,
there's-
look, I found a new Joker poster.
There's always a 50-50 chance
That
that
was
you
uncool,
put the
man. Take that
alcoholic
back.
in the room full of alcohol. They could say, no, I'm not going to touch it. And the people outside the room can say, oh, they've been clean for 30 years. They're fine. No, they're not. Who's to say that this good robot doesn't have the chance to go nuts?
Takes one
And
evil robot
you
to make
give
it
them
all bad.
you give them that one chance to say you can fit into society. Okay, now you've put this robot who can think for itself into society.
I love the raging.
No, it's not raging. It's me fighting with myself saying very, very bad things. That
Oh, we
would need to be
appreciate it
edited
because
out.
I don't want to come back later to edit it. Thank you. Piece of shit. Fuck you. No, but I
Are you
think
going to flush me now?
okay. You know what? You got to give me props that I was able to actually bring in feces and provide a good analogy to it. Like that alone, I should get points.
Analogy.
Here's your fucking air quote of the day. Hey, you want to hear something funny? Brian posted something. At the end.
What?
I know, shocker.
Anyway,
You know what? You know what really shocks me is just how strongly everybody has an opinion on this last question. I knew it was going to be kind of a hot
That was a
button.
really good one.
It's
I
a
knew
good
it was gonna be
question.
hot- I knew it was
I
gonna be
very
hot
much
button
enjoyed the rage.
when I wrote it.
why
but
do
I
you guys
really
make me rage out? That's
Because
what I,
we find it funny. And
No,
it
I
gives
know,
us
and
ratings.
then everyone
Because if
gives
I
these.
rage out, half the shit that comes out of my mouth is going to have to be edited out of the
You don't
podcast.
understand. Like,
I
I can't-
meditate on a daily basis. So I
Meditate
keep
what?
calm, and then I
No,
come
no.
here and you guys are like, ah!
You're
And that's
welcome.
what
Honestly,
happens.
You're welcome.
All my
As
zen
you said,
is
you have the
gone.
balance of good and evil.
I gotta ask you-
I
gotta ask one
one
question.
Yes,
One question.
yes.
Do you think Mark's still on the treadmill right now?
No.
No, I think he probably felt.
No, honestly, I
If
knew
anything,
this
because I
question
made
would
at
be
least
kind of
one valid
loaded
point.
when I wrote it out, but I didn't think it would evoke this much.
Well, I remember when you
but
said.
I am.
Everything evokes rage out of me.
Well, I didn't honestly.
I meditate all I want. And
Rainer, you know what? I'll
Then
be
your
honest.
meditation stopped working.
I thought you were going to be on my side with this one.
No,
No,
Because
clearly.
I
Guys,
don't
if you could
think-
see
because-
her face on that
No,
note,
fuck
it was
you.
priceless.
because
That
I
was
truly
good.
believe in half and half. You're gonna give someone that chance. That's fine that you want to put your faith in someone like that, but
Just
I
to
think
be the
it
kill
will-
switch.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
seriously,
That's
man.
all you
Just
need.
pull the plug, man. Just pull.
Yeah,
Like I
no.
just no, there's no
Let it
way.
go. Let it go.
I
I think that I'm gonna give this. That when I read these questions when he sent it to me the other day, I was like, "Fuck," because I was like, "This is gonna be good." No, you know what? And what was my response to it? These questions are deep because they are.
Yeah.
There are so many avenues you can go on these questions, and I actually did enjoy myself this podcast. So I didn't feel like I was making fart jokes the entire podcast, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you know what did I say before we started? This would be like 20, maybe 30 minutes. What are we up
we're
to now?
tipping
Yeah, you
the
destroyed
50-minute mark.
All right, so let's wrap it up. In the
And
fact
out of that
we're all
50
gonna-
minutes,
we're all
45
gonna-
was Rainer Rant.
we're all going to disagree on whether or not a machine.
Let's
can
agree
have
to
a-
disagree.
have a soul.
Yeah, that's all.
No.
Everyone
Shut up,
needs to
you.
be with my
Shut up.
opinion.
Come on, can I just wrap this up
No!
in a professional way, just once?
Professional.
I know.
These are the most professional notes ever.
Yeah, I know. Well, so we all have differing opinions on whether or not a machine can have a soul, or and what place they would have in society if they ever did become self-aware. And Todd just kicked the wall because
That wasn't the wall, that was the bike.
oh, the exercise bike. I'm sorry. One of these days we really have to do get a GoPro camera or something and do an actual video podcast. That would be just
Yeah, it wasn't a pro
unbelievable.
cam. I was going to bring my digital camera just because it has the record feature and try to do it secretly. But as usual, I left it on my coffee table.
Yeah, of course. That's
As
all right.
usual.
But so we all have differing opinions, and you know what? I'd love to hear what everybody else thinks. So feel free to leave comments either on our Facebook page or on the podcast page at podbean.com/the droids we're looking for Canada. Weigh in on this because you know what? Everybody's got an opinion on something like this, and I would love to hear everybody's ideas on what this actually is to them. So with that, we'll move on to the next item on business today, which was what? We're going to cover some of the guests that are coming to Niagara Falls Comic Con, right?
Well, yeah, I guess we should.
I think the most prominent and important guest that's going to be there is the Droids You're Looking For Canada.
That's right, absolutely. We're going to be there with our bells on.
Well, we're not guests. We're just
We're
going to be
going to be
attendees.
guests.
I think you
Hey,
were
I'm
joking.
trying to talk us up here. Talk us up.
They don't know we're going to be guests.
But we are.
It's going to be a silent invasion.
Yeah, they don't know we're invading them yet. Well, no, they do, because we emailed them asking them for media passes, but we'll find out from them if that's going to happen. But there's a pile of people coming, and the terrifying part about this is that there's still 7 slots.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
At least 7 slots. There could still be more announcements coming, and of course, guests are subject to change. Last year they had a couple of last-minute cancellations as well, but
This is the year they're bringing in the horror section, if I'm right.
I had horror last year as well.
Well, I don't think it was going to be as big. I think the selling point for that was Tom Savini and Paul Jones because they had the whole kit from Resident Evil and Silent Hill there, and
Yeah.
I think that was more of the advertising part. But now, let's just start from the bottom, work the way up.
Anyway.
I love your fucking bleach sweater. I know you made that today just for the podcast. I appreciate you.
Actually, this is the
You
first time I've come to
mean-
the podcast and not been in like a geek-related shirt.
Yeah, that's very hungry.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Sick?
No, it's laundry day.
No,
I
you being
know.
serious? You actually like this?
You know what? I'll take it as you did that for us. Even though
And
that
we
probably didn't happen,
appreciate
you
it.
weren't paying attention when you did laundry and poured bleach in with the sweater problem.
Yeah, because those TNT stripes perfectly on the arm.
What?
You didn't notice that was a bomb?
No, I actually didn't
Am I the
know.
only one that noticed that?
Probably.
Take a picture of that shit. We're putting this on the page.
All right,
Anyway,
Anyways, so
Niagara Falls Comic
Niagara
Con.
Falls
strike
Comic
a
Con.
pose, dude.
Strike a pose. Actually, get a good shot of the TNT. If you're wondering what's happening, just look at the page underneath podcast pictures. You will see that Brian, we're going to live in the illusion that he did it for us. Right?
Actually,
That's
kind of,
right.
because I just did a quick TNT stencil before I did Droids You Were Looking For across my back.
You should.
That's what this was. It was a test shirt.
I don't. You know what? Listen. In my defense, you don't pay attention to us 99% of the time.
What'd
so.
you say?
Exactly. So I'm allowed to have that 1%.
So Luke Perry's coming to Comic
Fuck
Con.
Luke Perry. We're starting at the bottom.
Hey,
it's
you
Luke
cannot
Perry.
say
Luke
that.
Perry, I'm
Mother-
waiting in line as long as
I
it
am-
takes to go up to him, just so I can look at him and go, is it true that you're gay? I read it in the Quahog Times.
Family Guy reference. No.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but I seriously want to do that.
Anyways, segue. Yeah.
Segue. All
That
right,
segue
so
sucked, dumbass.
Niagara Falls Comic
Okay,
Con.
Killer Bees are going to be there. It's what it's. Okay, this is going to sound bad. I'm just going to say this. I like the wrestling aspect, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the one year the guy.
Does it seem like their wrestling talent is going downhill?
Well, no, you can't. You can't get bigger than going to Austin or The Rock after you have Bret Hart. I guess that's the hard part. But I guess I'm going to skip over the Killer Bees because they're the Killer Bees. Paul Jones is making another appearance like we discussed earlier. I will really
push this upon people. If you can get into a panel, do it. I mean, me and Andrew were in there. Best panel.
It was an amazing panel.
I learned a lot.
He covered everything from animatronics to how to apply latex. It was informative. He spoke very well.
Yeah.
And really, if he does another panel again this year, it is a must attend. There was plenty of space in it, which really surprised me.
Well, they probably don't know who he is because he's an effects artist and it sounds really stupid. But I knew of him. You knew of him. But I mean, ultimately, does the crowd know him? They're like, oh, it's the guy who did the fucking creepy ass dog from Resident Evil.
Actually, I knew him from his work in Defiance.
Yeah.
Because I started.
And he brought that animatronic head with him.
He
Yeah,
brought
that was
the
pretty cool.
animatronic head with him that he'd done. And actually, I'd written my review of the Defiance show. I think 3 weeks before.
Not
Comic-Con?
even. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they also have. I don't. I remember today's special, but I don't.
I do. That
I
was one with
hated-
the mannequin. That,
Yeah.
that
But I don't remember
That's why I
the
looked
Sam
for mannequins.
Crenshaw. I don't recall that character. The
I do
character
the
was
sa-
there, obviously, but I don't recall it.
I do.
Okay, but then this is a
Little
huge
mouse.
year. Brian, I'm surprised, is not
Throwing cum buckets everywhere. Derek Mears, Jason Voorhees is going to be there. You're a Voorhees fan.
I am, but I much rather enjoyed Kane Hodder last year, who had multiple Voorhees.
You know what? I'll give you that. That's very true. And I forgot to check.
And I got Kane Hodder's autograph last year. So
Did you really?
Yeah.
I didn't even
It's
know that.
hanging framed on my wall.
Yeah, remember the last one was in your apartment?
Well, maybe you'll be a little more thrilled with the fact that Tony Todd is going to be there.
Tony Todd. Come on, the guy's got like one of the best voices in the industry.
Absolutely.
And he's made some bad movies. No one's perfect. But I
And
mean,
if
at the
you-
same time, he made Candyman, and he was able to make a couple of them.
And you know what? If you don't know Tony Todd by name, you would recognize his face because he doesn't just do horror. He does a little bit of everything. You can find him in almost every movie.
He's
that's
normally
out there.
like his character is kind of like a general, and that's how you always will look at that. I know he's been a general in something,
Yeah.
but I remember him mostly from the movie The Rock, because he was in The Rock, and he was the Rocket Man. Come on, remember see with the Rocket Man?
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Rocket Man.
Do you like Elton John? I love Rocket Man.
Actually, for me, the guests coming here, just going through them.
Yeah.
I have two I'm really looking forward to see, and they could not be on more opposite ends of the
I
spectrum.
already
All
know
right,
who
who
one
are
is.
they, Brian?
One is David
I
Faustino.
fucking knew it.
Married with Children.
That's
Bud Bundy.
that's
But Grandmaster B. I don't know if you watched the little video he posted. That's so cheese, Mo.
No, I haven't.
Oh, God.
No, and the other one on the other end of the spectrum is Tyler Mane. Michael Myers from Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Really? I didn't know if you'd be interested in him.
Yeah.
But didn't he also do,
Is he Sabretooth by any chance?
he was
He was.
Sabretooth in
He
X-Men.
was Sabretooth and X-Men.
He's an ex-wrestler, too. He never got big, though, which is the sad part. But you know who I'm excited for, to be perfectly honest, me personally?
Don't you dare tell me it's who I'm looking at right now.
It's the Green Ranger,
I
buddy.
knew it.
I didn't get to see him last year.
Me either.
I'm very
Oh,
upset.
no.
He's got his own show coming out. He's actually got 2 shows coming out that's being aired by Bat in the Sun. And him as a person is actually very intriguing. And he's been in almost every Power Ranger show. Every single shitty one that was made after the original one. He still managed to be, he was like the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, the Red Ranger. I think he was even a Black Ranger at one point. No, I know he was like 5. He played 5 different Rangers.
I don't think he was ever a Black Ranger.
Point is, it's the Green. You know what? It's Jason David Frank, and the guy turned out just fine.
Yeah.
Where's the rest of the cast? We saw Billy Yost last year at
David.
David.
David Yost was in
Whatever, the Blue Ranger, the geek one that no one cared about.
He does a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Like the Red
does a lot of
Ranger's a
writing.
firefighter, I think. Trini's
Ooh.
dead, which broke
I
my
saw
heart. Yeah,
what?
the Yellow Ranger's dead in
From
real
what?
life. Car accident.
Car accident.
Was she calculating the car accident? Is it?
No. No.
Oh, come on. Everyone,
Anyway.
that college humor video was
Well, the Pink Ranger.
good. Pink Ranger, she
Amy
did a
Jo
movie
Johnson.
recently.
Amy Jo
She's-
Johnson. She was actually in Flashpoint.
That's where I saw her.
So, a lot of them actually have done well with their careers, depending on what they were doing. But
Like the Black Ranger, he's mostly into martial arts and he does a lot of directing too.
Yeah, they made their millions.
so
Oh no,
The
no!
fan-
I think
know.
they made.
did
I
not-
think they made
they
a
did not
lot of
make-
money because
they
they
made
also
a lot
did.
of money.
That
but
was
they-
one of the only crew. That original crew was the only one that made a movie that was on the fucking theater.
Yeah.
Not a direct-to-DVD one like the
The-
other ones.
The thing too is that you look at a lot of childhood stars. Like I used to watch TGIF with like
Yeah.
Family
CGI,
Matters and
yeah.
Step by Step. You look at all of them now, and a lot of them don't do anything because they didn't want to continue. I mean,
What happened to
you
Urkel?
were-
Now that raises another question.
Nothing, but however, not from Family Matters. What was the other one? The Cosby Shows. Theo?
Yeah,
He's on Community now.
yeah.
He did a lot of roles, though. He was even in Passenger 57 with Snipes. Right after he left the Cosby Show, he died. But point is, Theo's still alive. What about? I gotta ask. Let's get this over with. There's a doctor going to be there.
There is a doctor going to be there,
Sylvester McCoy.
and I'll be the
The
first to say
seventh Doctor. So
I
what
haven't
year?
seen a whole lot of the classic Doctor Who's, but what I actually know Mr. McCoy from is not so much the Doctor, but his role as Radagast the Brown in the new Hobbit movies.
That's him.
That's him.
Oh shit.
That is him. So you've got. So I mean, if I did see him, that's probably what I would talk to him more about. But I have seen a couple of his Doctor Who episodes, and he was kind of a funny Doctor, you know. But
I
the
did
classic
make that
episodes they don't have the same kind of draw to me as the new ones do.
Well, I still have to swallow my pride. What was it I agreed to? I think it was 2 to 3 episodes of Doctor Who this year. I have to make an attempt. That was my New Year's resolution, is that I have to make an attempt.
Now, are you going
Well,
to
if
go?
you
Are you
don't
going to
like
go the
it-
net?
No, I'm going to go David Tennant because I actually do like David Tennant.
All right. Well,
yeah,
start.
but if you don't,
I want to try.
I'll give you.
I want to try.
I'll give you a 3-episode list to watch,
Okay.
and then you can go from there whether you want to continue or not. But it's the best. It's the way I introduced somebody else to Doctor Who when they got into it. So if it works on you too, excellent. If it doesn't work on you, you know what? Doctor Who isn't for everybody, but it's still a good show.
Yeah, like I said, I watched the 50th. Like it didn't blow me away, but so I think it's great that Kevin Smith's backup friends are going to be at Comic-Con. I'm happy that they made. You know that pisses me off. I'm sorry, and I know it's going to be a little mini rant, and I apologize in advance that people are riding someone else's coattails to get popular. That pisses me off. Everyone knows Kevin Smith because of how he is. And a lot of people found out who Kevin Smith was, mainly because of his Evening with Kevin Smith rants, which by far is funny if you haven't watched it.
yeah.
But now you got these guys who have their own reality TV show called Comic Book Man, and I watch an episode, I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, I can do better with my podcast.
Come on, let's be honest. Every reality show is bullshit.
Oh, no. Yeah, toddlers
Oh
and
man, they're
tears.
total reality.
No, whether the reality, like the whole genre of a reality show is just
It's not even
It's
ridiculous. It's ridiculous television.
It's
one.
scripted.
Scripted, sure, and
Celebrity rehab.
And the biggest thing with reality TV is it's cheap to make.
Yep. And you can make money.
So networks don't care.
Thank you, Blair Witch Project. Thank you. Thank you for making reality TV for us.
I'm excited.
They were
because
one of the first innovators of reality because they sold you a movie that they thought was reality. Everyone's seen it not because it was a good film. They thought people actually died in that fucking movie, and they went to it, and then she came out on Leno 4 days later.
Thank you. Still have not seen that horrible movie.
Oh, I apologize to myself.
We watched it in English class. One
But
day,
no,
and
like, I mean,
this is
that
horrible.
bothers me because Kevin Smith is such a great person, and he's so well endowed with knowledge, and then he's like, I have 4 friends who need to make money.
Well,
That's like asking Nicolas Cage for a fucking favor.
well, let's be honest though. I mean, if you're running a comic book store, you're not making much money.
No,
Because-
you're not.
Because in the digital age, comic books are dying.
Yep.
Everybody's getting
anything's dying. Like
comic books are going. Any kind of print media is dying.
even
Yeah,
fucking-
but at least then those who buy the comic books, they are actually going to be
But they're
collectors.
but this difference though is because those guys have a jump because everyone goes to that comic book store because like that's Kevin Smith's fucking comic book.
Yeah.
Like geeks will go cross country. I would go to Kevin Beck. I would go to his comic book shop and say I was here, take pictures, do selfies.
Don't do selfies.
Coming
I
from the guy
can't.
who's
My
seen do a
camera on
selfie
my
earlier.
phone sucks.
Pardon?
Really.
It said coming from the guy who's seen do a selfie earlier.
Well, I
You
gotta
did
get
a
into the-
selfie?
I gotta get myself in the podcast.
I put the
somehow.
camera there on purpose.
Well, nobody's using it.
The
I have
last time.
pictures of me taken, so
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Anyways,
Well, that's
No,
fine. I
but
have
I mean-
hidden webcams that's taking video.
you know their
Anyway.
show isn't
That's
that good.
just
It just
creepy,
bothers me when
dude.
people do that.
Those
Anyway.
aren't speakers.
So
it's kind of like saying Justin Bieber's Entourage should have a reality show. Wow, that would be selling because of all the shit he does. But let's get past that now.
Yes.
It's just anger. It's just anger.
so
everyone in
Rainer, other than Jason Priestley and Luke Perry, who else are you
Gene
excited? to-
Kane because I used
Oh,
to.
man, I have
watched
to ask
every
him.
episode of The Adventures of Lois and Clark.
I agree. I agree, man. Totally.
Yeah.
You know what? I
Anything
would
else he's
bang
in
her back
after
in the
that,
day,
he's like I read up about that guy. I'm like, I used to have such a crush on him, and then he used to beat what's her name, Mindy,
He was
the country singer that died recently. I don't know. He's
We know who country stars are nowadays. Like I stopped listening to country since Garth Brooks retired, and then he came back as somebody else, and then he went back to retirement. But
Anyway,
no, I want to ask him a question.
what do you want to ask him?
The question I want to ask him is that if you had to choose between Terry Hatcher and Amy Adams, who would you pick? Those were both Lois's. Terry Hatcher is a completely different Lois. Amy Adams, damn, is all I gotta say. American Hustle, damn. Freaking, I can name movies all day with her.
Yeah, but
in it.
she's also a ginger. You have a thing for gingers, don't you?
Why do we have to bring up my handicap?
That's why. That's why you prefer Amy
No,
Adams.
no, seriously though, Amy Adams is pretty goddamn hot.
She is. Yeah, I'm not. Gonna
And she's
lie,
a good
but Terry
actor.
Hatcher for her age, damn.
Yeah, well,
Agreed.
I just remember that
Like,
stupid
was she,
scene
what,
that she came
50?
down on the slide.
So no love for Kate Bosworth then, huh?
My God, her forehead's so big. Like, it bothers me. You can't see this. Maybe we should take a picture of this. Todd's invitation to Kate Bosworth.
And her acting abilities were through.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
the kid was better in that movie than Kate Bosworth, and he had 3 words.
Okay. No, I was just,
You
I was just curious, but yeah.
Going back onto this like guest appearance list,
Yeah.
I don't know if I even should be upset about this, but I am.
What?
They are having Kevin Sorbo, but he's listed as Hercules instead of Andromeda.
Oh yeah, he's there.
No,
He was more popular for
He was more
Hercules.
popular
Yes,
for
he was.
Hercules, but
Hercules
Andromeda
spun
was
off
by far
amazing
better.
shows.
Xena.
Xena came out of it. Jack of all trades had died
Oh,
one season.
Xena was awesome.
But you know, Bruce Campbell's allowed to have his show.
Yeah.
He's allowed to have one show, even though every show he was in died. Bristol
Yeah.
County Jr.
That was a great show.
That was a great
I
show.
love that show.
And he's appearing at the Ottawa Comic Con this year. If anyone is
Oh my
curious.
God, I want to go.
I know, we all want to go, but we're broke because we
Yeah.
have to fund for this one. Anyways,
All right.
Oh, my
Moving-
costumes are going to be fairly cheap to me.
So
Sorbo is a great actor, even though he made a sequel to Walking Tall, which never should have happened.
No.
He's made a
Well-
lot of bad things. Was it Kroll the Conqueror?
Or
Krull.
was it
Kroll?
Krull.
That was not bad. I remember watching that on TBS.
Did he remake Krull? Because Krull was like an '80s film.
No, there was
wasn't
the movie he did as an actual movie.
it?
Everyone's pulling up that. You know what? I'm happy I posted this
I'll pull up his
IMDb picture
filmography
to
on
go up today
IMDb.
because it's so true. It says it's like a pie chart of IMDb. It says 99% settling a bet with your friend.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's so true because
I was gonna put that up, and I'm like, oh,
But-
that's in the schedule stuff. So.
let's skip Sorbo. You look it up. The 16-time leather body Ric Flair. The guy is made out of leather. His skin has been so saturated from tanning. You couldn't wonder why. You're like, oh my body. You should see this guy's tits. I am not joking. It's literally leather. Leatherface wears him when he kills people. But you know what? It's gonna be awesome because I'm actually going to meet Ric Flair. It's Ric Flair. But that's it. He's just
Did you know
Russell.
he was the voice of Hercules in God of War Ascension?
Who?
Kevin Sorbo.
Really?
Yep.
Gotta replay that game.
I got to replay. I beat all the God of Wars. It was because of Brian I got in God of War, but then they brought out one of my favorite characters from Breaking Bad. Oh, Chicken Man, yes. I don't know if you guys have watched Breaking Bad. I'm not going to tell you to watch it, but you're an idiot for not watching it. How's that sound?
I watched it.
I haven't seen it
Amazing!
yet.
His death scene, by far the best death I've ever seen in any network TV show. Bing! Like, imagine you just shit yourself too. There's a bomb. Boom. Like, there's not gonna be no value in meeting him. But I mean, his death was pretty badass, even though half his face looked like he was a Terminator because it blew
Best
up.
death ever.
It was though. He actually holds that up, and his character was ruthless. He was very good at his acting, so it wasn't like he did anything wrong. They just couldn't market him past 4 seasons. It happens. And really, he made chicken.
And then coming up, we got
Call the Conqueror, 1997.
So I was right. Yes!
Ernie Hudson.
Man, imagine freaking geek boner. Like, I mean, this alone
With the
makes you...
side note being not on the guest list, but they are going to have the Ecto one there as well.
That is badass. We totally got to get a group picture on that thing. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
But Ernie Hudson, and I'm not even talking about Ghostbusters. You also got him with his camp when he did his walk on The Crow. You got his 6
Yes.
seasons when he was in Oz.
Yeah.
He's done so much
He's
work.
had a walk on How I Met Your Mother.
Yep,
Yeah.
I heard about that too. He is such a good actor. But also, if you think about it, at the time that he was in Ghostbusters, it was during the time period that black people were starting to get their roles. And that was a huge thing at that time. Is
You're
that
not dying 10 minutes into it.
Yeah.
exactly, because that still happens to this day. Ask Wesley Snipes. But I mean, it's really awesome that he's going to be there. And they actually had a photo. Like they went to a Comic-Con and recorded him, which I don't even know what con he was at, and to get him to say that, and he looked happy as a pig in shit.
Yeah, and you know what he's got coming up? The new CW series, The Flash. He's Detective West.
Really,
He's
is a
already
good role
credited
him.
for
Good role
the
him.
premiere episode in that.
You know what? That is actually a very good role for him. He does play good detective roles.
Yeah.
Even though his character was destroyed after the Crow, but
You know, so I mean, it's nice to have him in there, and it would be awesome if we had a quick chance to chat with him maybe about his work in the Flash. Wow, he's 68.
oh yeah,
I had no idea.
he's like fucking Louis Gossett Jr. He doesn't age.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Go ahead, Brian.
And then continuing on our list here, probably one of my favorite characters in a movie.
Like, I mean, here's the thing. What's the panel going to be like? It's awesome to have Chewbacca, but if they had a panel, well, it's him with a freaking tape deck. That's how bad it is.
Well, no,
Just playing Chewbacca noises.
I can listen to Chewbacca noises all day. I love
I know
Chewbacca.
you can, because that's my... Is that still my text message?
That is still your text message tone,
Let
yeah.
the Wookiee win,
The
man.
angry Wookiee.
No, but I mean, I don't know what you would ask Peter Mayhew. Like, we'd be like, so what was it like being in that costume? You know how many times he's probably been asked
So
that.
Peter,
Really hot.
Really hot.
do you use L'Oreal?
That was a great meme. And finally, we'll get to the crown jewel that is the crown jewel right now. Good old Shatner.
I don't think they could get a bigger guest right now than
You know what?
Shatner.
Be careful. They might just say challenge accepted.
You know what? I hope so, because I love how, this is only the fourth year for Niagara Falls Comic Con?
Fourth or fifth, yeah.
Fourth or fifth year. I mean, they almost ranked in the top 10 for North American con attendance last year.
Yep. They will definitely hit it this year.
They'll definitely hit it this year with the 3 days, because all of those cons that made it in there were 3-day cons.
Yeah.
And how quickly this convention has grown.
Yeah.
Is just amazing.
Well, I think it's in a prime location, and what I mean by that is the closest con to us beyond Niagara Falls is Toronto, and New York doesn't really have one. They have their Horror Fest, I think they do.
Oh no, well, New York City.
No, not that one, New York. That's too far.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm
That's
thinking like
9
Buffalo,
hour
New
drive.
York. Like, I mean, that's a long way. And this year we're gonna bang out the Toronto Con in March. We're gonna bang out the Niagara Falls one in June. Then we have the one in August, which I'm definitely going to. I don't
I'm
know.
going to Fan Expo.
Fan Expo is going to be a very draining experience because it was last year. And then finally, I would like to hit out the Hammer. That's probably going to be in October. And the Hammer did do well.
for its first
For
con.
its first year, it did well.
Yeah, and
But
you
I
can
think
even-
Comic
catch our
Con
review
itself.
on it. I think on episode 3
Yes.
was our review of Hammertown Comic.
You know what? But the thing is, though, if I remember exactly, we had some positives, but we did have a lot of negatives from it. And
It's in Hamilton.
it's in Hamilton. It's no one's fault that it's in Hamilton because it's Hamilton. But ultimately, though, they should look at what Niagara Falls Comic Con did and learn from it.
Yeah, that's
Because Niagara Falls Con had a rough start, like everyone else did, and then look what happened. Every single year, ramping and ramping and ramping and ramping.
I think they're going to do it this year.
I
2
remember
days again,
sitting
right?
in the panel for Mark Fitzgerald, I think it was, with Baker, and the guy came in and said, "If you leave this building, you are not coming back." We're like, "What?" He's like, "There is a fucking line I'm outside, and it is a 2-hour wait to get in." And we both just kind of peered out the window they had there. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So we will be on the floor, I think, at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I definitely will be there Saturday, most likely Sunday. Friday will be a no-go for me.
Yeah,
but
Fridays, probably not for
Friday,
everyone,
I'm
'cause-
working, and quite honestly, 3 days at the con. There's really nothing happening on the Friday. That's going to be. They'll probably have some things.
The Friday's the shorter of the 3 days.
Yeah,
the
the
Saturday
shorter.
and the Sunday are the full days.
Well-
but that's typically how most 3-day cons work. Is the Friday's the short day because people are still working.
Yeah.
Uh,
So we definitely implore everyone to come down to Niagara Falls Comic Con. We will be either in costume or hopefully at that time we'll have our T-shirts done. Just look for us. We will take your picture, post it on the page, and as well, feel free to like our page too. That's a huge thing. And Brian, hopefully we'll have the cards ready by then. Yes.
Yeah, I've already fine-tweaked them again today.
Oh, good. I
I've
can't
been
wait to see
working
them.
on it. So.
That boy. So then we'll go to print for those cards, get them going, start handing them out like motherfuckers. Also, we need to,
just put the JPEG on.
yeah, if you can do that. We also updated, we actually have Twitter now. We're twatting.
No, we're tweeting.
Tweeting.
We're not twatting. We are tweeting.
Stephen Colbert. Damn you! You lied to me! But now we're on Twitter.
We are, oh god, here we go. TDYRLF_Canada.
You know what? Saying the droids you are looking for is Canada is a little bit of a mouthful.
Well, the problem is I couldn't. It's too many characters to fit for our username. So it is just the first letters
if we
of each
ever
one.
do a name change, can we have like a 20 character minimum?
Yeah, I would love that. But
gang.
for now, it is.
We should probably think about this before we make T-shirts and cards.
No,
Yeah.
I actually, you know what? Honestly, I'm pretty
We
confident.
got 100 T-shirts.
Yeah, for
Everybody
now we
change our
are
name.
we are at
Quick, get me a
TDYAL.
Sharpie.
Go ahead, Baker.
So for now we are at TDYALF _Canada on Twitter. Feel free to give us a follow. It's where we'll tweet out links to the podcasts, the links to our reviews, so that you can get access to them there. If you don't want to have to watch everything on the Facebook page, it'll be a nice, quick way to get out little blurbs, announcements for where we're going. And also, unlike with Facebook posts on Twitter, you're guaranteed to see our posts on your timeline all the time.
Yeah, and that's one thing we're gonna try to push a campaign out there to get us seen, because we've definitely gone from 300 fans. We're at 4750 roughly right about now. So we've actually, with the help of some pages, I want to do some quick shout outs to all things that are Batman, Miss Marvel's universe, Wayner's universe. I can't remember all of them. I made a lot of friends as of late, to say at least. They've helped our page grow, and they definitely helped us get known, and I have to thank them for that. If they're listening to the podcast, sweet. If they're not, well, I don't know what to tell you then. Fuck. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, is that you're going to notice a lot of changes with our page. We had a quick meeting before. We are pushing more reviews. We are going to be pushing a lot more game reviews. Me and Brian are going to be pushing the Video Game Vault, which I think will start airing on Wednesdays. It's going to be only 5-10 minute blurb, but you know what? Hang out. Why not? Andrew, I think, is going to be... he's handling the Twitter feed. And as well, Rainer's going to be starting to work on her cosplay costumes. I have a feeling I'm helping her.
Pages and tutorials, right?
I don't like having spare time to myself.
Hey, I gotta make all these costumes.
Oh, and the cross is out.
Hey, you're pretty good at making excuses, so how about you just make the costume?
Oh, snap.
Excuses for what?
You know what? She still owes you a stabbing. Remember, episode 12. She
I
owes
heard
you a
it.
stabbing.
I'm surprised I didn't stab you yet.
And also the Ginger Tarn, she will be also cosplaying with Rainer, and as well she will be writing her Walking Dead retrospective, and she also be recently going to be writing up the Dracula perspective as well. We do have a vampire podcast coming up in the future, which is good because I think everyone's pretty much endowed with knowledge about vampires, which will be very interesting.
And all the different ones, like True Blood,
Yeah, True
Interview
Blood,
with the
you got
Vampire, Buffy Vampire, Supernatural
John
Vampires.
Carpenter's Vampires. Fucking shit. Fuck, die, fuck. What? You know what? We need to bring James Woods in for a podcast. That'd be great.
Well, let's work on getting the cosplay.
And also, we
Hammer
will
down
have some
first.
interviews, which we're going to be pushing for too. All right. Does anyone have anything before I butcher this podcast even more?
No, I think that pretty much wraps us up.
Just let you know, runtime is 1:20.
That's
Not
fine.
bad.
That's not bad. So
We,
that's more.
we spent a lot longer on Almost Human than I thought we would.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. So
But hopefully, people will like it and comment, and it'll get some
comment.
activity.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, at this point, we've grown a lot. We want to thank all our fans. We got to make sure we do that. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't even realize we were still recording.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Say thank you.
Thank you.
It's hard. Oh, you just can't be serious for like 5
Someone
minutes
needs
of
to
your
put a
life.
helmet on them
Coming
fast.
from you.
I have a helmet. We're in luck.
Dear God.
I saw that. That was good.
I've
Okay.
seen that, but I don't think you can play it. It misogynizes Chocolos.
Wow, that was good. All right, who's closing this bitch up?
Rainer.
Rainer. Can you say the closing line? Very
Can
slowly?
I?
Wait, it depends.
Say- you gotta say very
Ours ain't
sensually.
gluten-free.
What's that?
Chimichangas? No.
Oh, she can't say it. She's gonna fall apart.
What do you mean? She can't say chimichangas.
Anyway,
Scary.
thanks for listening, everyone, and grab a chimichanga.
Eat it! Brian?
Scarfit.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Thanks for listening to the Droids You Are Looking For podcast. Stay tuned for next week's podcast.
Remember, the Force will be with you always.